This is a masculine version of the card that we're going to make today, and the way it works is it has a sleeve that comes right off, and then it just opens to expose 3 different panels, and there's 3 different inserts inside that you can add pictures, gift cards. This one is a Father's Day card for my father-in-law, and each panel slides out, and then there's room in the center for a saying, and then it just closes back up, and then this fits right back on like that. Okay, let's get started. First thing you're going to do is take a 12 by 12 piece of paper. If it has a barcode on it, we're going to want to remove that barcode. Okay, so we've got a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. This one is double-sided. If you can find lightweight double-sided paper, that's great. It's awfully hard to come by, and single-sided is fine too. So we're going to put the print side facing down, and we're going to begin by scoring at the 4-inch line. And then we're going to fold that up. This makes the pocket for the little note inserts that's going to go fit right in there. Use our bone folder along that score line. And then we're going to bring the paper up to the corner here, and we're going to score at 3 3/4. So I'm moving the sheet about 1/4 inch away from the side, and then I'm going to score it at the 4 mark. That will give us 3 3/4. A little upper division math there. And then we're just going to bend that over. And the way you can make sure you have a straight fold line is to line up your bottom edges there. Make sure that's perfectly straight line, and then just use your bone folder. And then now we want a line. Just pick any straight line. We want a line that comes very close to this first folded edge. So I'm going to leave maybe about a 1/16 of an inch. I don't want it too close because we're going to be adding tags and whatnot. I want to give plenty of room for that to close. So just about a 1/16 of an inch. And then we're going to fold that over. And once again, we want to make sure that line is perfectly straight at the bottom, so we get nice straight fold lines. So that's straight, and then I hold that in place, and I'm just going to go all the way up to the top. Turn that over, and then we're just going to trim that off, that excess off. So let me do that. And you want to get close, but you don't want to get near that fold. Very close, but not to the fold. So there's about maybe a 32nd of an inch showing there. That's fine. These corners are a metallic sticker. I just love these. I wish you could see them in person because they are beautiful. They're peel-off stickers. They're laser cut, and all you do is peel off an edge, bend it quite a bit, and that'll start it for you. And then you just leave an equal amount of space up in the corners, and they're sticky, so they just adhere very nicely. And then I'm going to put a large one from this section. I'm going to put a large sticker there. Adhere that sticker. Now I've got the smallest glue dots, and I'm going to show you how to securely keep these cards, these inserts in place. And I'm just going to make sure my glue dot goes below pocket there. And then to make sure that there's no buckling, I'm going to close that over and then pinch it. And I would do the same thing on the other side. And then to hold these pockets firmly in place, you can go ahead and add another glue dot. And make sure that this still moves up and down. And then I'm going to get one more And I'm going to place that right beside the insert and below this bottom pocket. And then I'm going to add one more over there. All right, and then I'm just going to fold that over to make sure it won't buckle later on. All right, and then I'm going to fold it back up. And then we're going to add a saying here. And in this month's PDF, I've given you sayings for both cards that we're making this month. I'm going to use this saying, and I want to remove all the black frame here on this card. It's a small area, so I'm going to trim this much here. For our other sailboat card, you can use the whole frame. Let's see, I want to preserve my sayings at the bottom, so I'm going to cut it this way. And I want to just get rid of that frame just a little bit. I'm going to get rid of the frame. And I just want to get rid of the frame all the way around there. I'm just going to take my adhesive and I'm just going to adhere that to the center section of my card. And I'll just place that right there. Okay, so then we're going to close that up, and then we're going to move on and make the banding that goes on this card. Now what I'd like to do is make a score right at, again, the 3 3/4 inch line. And I'm going to fold that over. Slide this into my card. Line up my card very close to a score line here and leave a little bit of room so that once we get this finished, it'll slide off and on very nicely. So I'm going to score that right up next to the side of my card, and then I'm going to fold that over. And again, the way we get a nice straight line is to make sure there's nothing showing on the top and the bottom of the layer below. All right. And then we have a little excess here, so I'm just going to trim that. And you can put a fair amount there. And we're going to fold that over. And now we have the banding on there. And the last thing is to put a piece of ribbon around there. Okay, so I'm going left over right with my left on top of the right, left over right, twist, and then I'm going to bring the top piece down at about, the 7 o'clock position, and then bring this. And this is the perfect knot, and like I said, watch the video that I have for step-by-step instructions on how to tie that perfect knot. And there you have it.